what if our Earth wasn't a sphere, but was actually shaped like a giant donut? On our wild hypothetical journey, we've already explored a flat Earth, a cube Earth, and even a hollow one. So, what do you say we try to survive on a planet with a massive hole right through the middle? Now, when it comes to planets, size definitely matters, but so does shape. What we're talking about is what mathematicians would call a toroidal world, or a torus planet. But to me, it just looks like a delicious cosmic-sized ring-shaped pastry. Whatever you want to call it, a donut-shaped Earth isn't actually impossible. Planets don't naturally form this way, but the laws of physics do allow for a world like this to exist. It just wouldn't be the Earth you and I know. Okay, I was just kidding earlier. You wouldn't immediately perish on a donut-shaped Earth. That is, unless it was shaped more like a hula hoop. If the hole in the center was way bigger than the solid part of the planet, you'd have some incredibly unstable conditions. It would be an absolute disaster. So, let's stick to a planet that looks like a classic donut and is otherwise pretty similar to our own Earth. It would be in the same position relative to the Sun, have the same axial tilt, and even a similar escape velocity, about 11.4 kilometers per second for most of the planet. But here's a cool trick. At the donut's inner equator, the escape velocity would drop to just 6.5 kilometers per second. So if you were planning to launch rockets into space, that would be the absolute best spot to break free from the planet's gravitational pull. Speaking of gravity, things would get pretty weird. Depending on where you stood on this torus Earth, you could weigh up to 3 times less than you do right now. If our round Earth has a surface gravity of 1 g, the gravity along the poles of a donut Earth would be about 0.65 g. And at the inner equator, the gravity would plummet to just 0.3 g. It would feel like you were taking a casual stroll on the surface of Mars. Even though the gravity would be lower, it would still be constantly trying to crush the planet back into a sphere. To fight that urge and keep its hole open, a donut Earth would have to spin much faster than our round Earth. That way, the powerful centrifugal forces would kick in and keep the donut shape intact. But this super fast rotation would have a major side effect. A day on this Earth would only last 2 hours and 50 minutes. Can you imagine that? Or, if you tried to stick to a 24-hour day, you'd have to deal with at least 8 sunrises and sunsets every single day. You'd have to completely adapt to working day and night, and sleeping through hours of bright daylight. And think about the animals. The ones that rely on the cycles of the sun and moon to breed, migrate, and hunt would be completely thrown off. The good news is, we'd probably still have our moon. Most likely, it would be pulled toward the hole and bob up and down right in the middle of the planet. Or it could get caught in a complex gravitational dance with the donut's outer edges, ending up in a crazy figure-8 orbit around the Earth. The bad news? Either of these strange orbits would mess with the tides on Earth and cause some serious chaos. The oceans could have such unstable water levels that building coastal cities might not even be an option. Imagine waves of unpredictable sizes crashing onto the shore constantly. Now for the climate. The overall climate on a donut Earth would actually be pretty similar to what we have now. It would be colder in the polar regions and warmer at the equators. It's tough to say where different countries would be located on a torus planet. But as for the landscape, the inner edge of the donut hole would likely be lined with enormous mountains, potentially much larger than anything we have on our Earth. If you lived on that inner edge, you'd have quite a spectacular view every day. Unlike some of our other what-if scenarios, life wouldn't come to a screeching halt in this one. Humans on a donut Earth might just evolve separately on different continents, perhaps never even crossing the vast oceans to meet each other. But hey, at least there'd be no mass extinction, and no part of the planet would become too extreme for us to survive. People living on this donut Earth might or might not have the same technology we have today. They might not even invent the concept of a donut in the first place. Or maybe they'd be making videos just like this one, asking, what if the Earth was shaped like a ball? And who knows, maybe because of this unique donut shape, some of the worst disasters in Earth's history would have never even happened, but that's a story for another what if. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this cosmic thought experiment, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-bending scenarios. See you next time.